Thank you very much, everyone. We were given a strong mandate with 8 million votes to pursue our purpose in this place, which is to restore the Canadian promise. That promise is that anyone who works hard gets a great life in an affordable home on a safe street. And that requires reversing the 10 years of inflationary deficit spending of the Liberal government. The Liberals are back with the same ministers, MPs, staff, and it turns out, for the most part, the same policy agenda. Earlier this week, I made it clear that we as Conservatives would vote in favour of any good policies that helped restore the Canadian promise, even if they did not go far enough or they were not as good as we would have proposed. That's why earlier this week we announced we'd support some of the government's albeit small tax measures. We said we would support them because they were a very small step in the right direction. And we said we will continue to do that. At the same time, we said we would vote against things that are bad for the country and that run against the platform that 8 million Canadians voted for. And that's what I'm here today to discuss with my Deputy Leader, Melissa Lantsman, whom I thank for her hard work. We ran on a platform of fiscal discipline to bring down the cost of government so that we could bring down the cost of living. But this week, Mark Carney introduced $500 billion of spending with no budget, the first time that has happened in decades. Not only that, but he's increasing government spending by 8%, with the lion's share of that spending going to bloated bureaucracy, consultants, and contractors. Bureaucracy will go up by 6%. That's more than double the combined rate of inflation and population growth. Consultants are going to go up by 37% to $26 billion a year. The average Canadian family will now spend $1,400 on federal government consultants alone. Contractors get more money. And let's be clear, the extra spending Mr. Carney has asked Parliament's approval on is not for investments. It's for money that's out the door and gone forever, almost all of it on bureaucratic administration and other high-priced consultants. That is totally irresponsible. It's clear that Mark Carney is even more expensive than Justin Trudeau. This $500 billion spending bill will drive up inflation, interest rates, above and beyond what they would otherwise be, at a time when we've got a record increase in people who are unable to pay their bills. According to Equifax, delinquencies are up. The number of people missing mortgage payments is up. 2 million people are lined up at food banks. And we have desperation in the streets. People cannot afford an even more expensive Liberal government. And that is why I'm announcing today that Conservatives will vote against this $500 billion of inflationary, irresponsible, out-of-control Liberal spending. We continue to hold out hope the government will change direction, and that's why we're calling on them to introduce a budget this spring, like has always been done. Mr. Harper was elected in 2011 in May. He had a budget the June that followed. There's no reason why the Prime Minister can't give Canadians a plan. He said he had a plan. A plan beats no plan. He said, well, a budget is a plan, and we need a plan. We cannot simply have more debt, bureaucracy, and inflation. We will continue to work hard for the Canadian people to restore the Canadian promise so that anyone who works hard gets a great life in an affordable home on a safe street, and that means fiscal discipline, cutting bureaucracy, consultants, foreign aid, and other excess and wasteful spending. And we call on the government to follow our lead on these. We've been leading the charge on the debate on carbon taxes, inflation, housing, resources, drugs, and crime. We want the government to finally get the message that we cannot continue to spend money we do not have on things we do not need when Canadians are lined up at food banks. And so we will stand up for the principles we campaigned on, and we will vote against this $500 billion of inflationary, out-of-control, Liberal spending by Mark Carney. Thank you. Thank you.
Just in English on this issue of this one economy bill that Mr. Carney, I think, is going to present to the First Ministers. Like, where do you land on that?
We got to see it first. There's often a difference between what Liberals advertise and what they do, but look, it is our goal is to speed things up and remove barriers. I ran on an entire platform of eliminating governmental gatekeepers so that we could get things done quickly. If that's what this does, then we'll favor it, but we have to see what they say. Our approach is look at the bill and say, is it better? Is the country better or worse off with the bill? And that's why that's what we did on the tax bill, and that's what we're doing on the spending bill. That's what we'll do on the resource bill. I would just reiterate, though, the government is not saying anything about the big problems. You have to get rid of C-69 because it blocks projects, and even if the government decides it's going to circumvent C-69 on individual projects, there will be dozens of other projects that we might not even know about because investors will not come forward as long as they risk having to face the worst approval system in the world. Get rid of C-69. The shipping ban. How are you going to have a pipeline to the West Coast if you can't ship from the West Coast? The idea would not even get off the ground unless you get rid of C-48, the West Coast shipping ban. The energy production cap means that future pipelines might not be able, the government of Canada might not allow enough production to fill future pipelines, which reduces the likelihood of a pipeline builder would come along and build it. So these sort of like picking 5 or 10 projects that the government favors, it might be better than nothing, but it's not the solution that we need to get things built. We need to repeal C-69, C-48, the energy cap, the electric vehicle mandate, and unlock the incredible power of our resources to build powerful paychecks and, most importantly, to make us independent and self-reliant from the Americans. Thank you very much.